All right, so we're back, and you guys can hopefully hear me now. You haven't really missed a whole bunch, other than the fact that I was just describing how they got to Omu and how they looked into the city, they saw what they saw, and then they rested for the night and were starting their 36th day entering the city of Omu. Now, what, if anything, are you guys wanting to do before entering the city?
I would like to know the time of day we're about to do this. So is this in the morning as we broke in camp? Is what you're
Um,
asking?
I feel free to modify this if you guys want, but typically in my games, I have people usually sleeping from say 9 p.m. to um, what is it? I can't do math anymore. 9 p.m. till 5 p.m. and they often start setting up camp at 8 p.m. and are breaking up camp until 6 a.m. And so this would be like probably 20 past 6 in the morning if that suits you guys.
Cool. And is the sun up in your version of Forgotten Realms at this point, or just coming up, or what?
It would just be coming up, and it is a dry and sunny day. So there will be no rain today. I believe
I'm
Boone
gonna,
has something which gives everybody temporary hit points.
He does, provided everyone listens to him in the.
and I'm gonna cast Mage Armor just so I have that on
Sweet. Mage
as my
armor.
morning ritual.
Yep. I'll mark that down.
Um, would it have been possible to summon my steed in my travels prior to this? Wait, I did it after the daggone thing, didn't I?
You did. It's already
Yeah.
summoned.
All right. Well, I will take this moment before we head down this pathway to sit astride my majestic elk and look down at this decrepit city and wonder what horrors lie within. I love it. Bravo, sir.
I came prepared. Can you move it?
Not yet.
I just appreciate that it's a gigantic moose who looks
I
so dumb
love
with your
it.
It's the
shit.
closest I could pick for now.
He just looks so done with your shit. It's fantastic.
And your timing was just brilliant.
All right. So you yeah. So you guys are entering the city. So anything anybody else wants to do? And could I get how much temporary hit points that was, Boone?
11.
11. All right. Because I guess got to add that to Musharib.
Does that moose understand common?
Sure does.
Does he understand common? Because that would be convenient for you.
One
I think
moment,
a
please.
paladin mount is smarter than an average mount. I thought.
Yeah, yeah. I know that it maintains a telepathic link with its person.
I can inspire up to you know what, I can do 6 people, so I don't think moose or chicken are going to get.
Yeah, chicken wouldn't get it. No worries.
We seriously need to find you a squirrel.
Speaks
I
common.
know it, dude.
So we can just burn all my spell slots and
Moose-
keep
moose and
casting
squirrel.
summon woodland creatures.
Oh, what were they called? Damn it! Something in.
It
Rock
does
and roll.
understand one language of my choice that I speak.
And that language is.
Common.
I speak a ton of languages, so if you want to make it speak Elven or Draconic or Celestial.
No. You gotta say, who's a good elk?
I give him the nod because he's not in the party. Doesn't get the hit points. I apologize. Once Musharib's gone, he can be one of the 6.
Once Musharib's gone. Is that how it's working?
Whoa, whoa.
Amazingly, Mushrib gets pushed off a cliff shortly.
We can't resummon Musharib.
Oh, you could try.
It's getting dark, guys.
Alright. So yeah. So for now, I'll sort out the elf properly later. So you guys have you have started entering Omu. Is everybody all ready to continue? Excellent.
Excellent.
Okay. So you guys, as you're traveling along, it is still kind of dense-ish jungle, and it's not like the easiest thing to walk your way through, but you know, you do make decent time walking through here. Definitely a lot easier than the massive, thick jungle you've been trekking through over the last 35 days. And around here, this rectangular open building, you find what seems to be an old guardhouse still standing near the entrance of the city. You can see that there are arrow slits cut into the limestone walls, and it seems to have like a lopsided iron portcullis hanging over the gateway. Beyond the inside, you see a little bit of an open plaza.
If we stand there and look across the city, do we see no signs of...
Once you start venturing in, your sight is a little bit limited, but you don't see much more than various wildlife, like the birds that you saw when you first looked across. If you really listen, you might hear the odd like roar or yell or sound that doesn't seem normal, but it's too hard for you to figure out what that could have come from.
Musharib, what was this city like when it had life?
Ah, that was before my time. Many, many years ago.
There's no legend?
Oh, there were legends that it was, this was the central prayer center of Uptau. But long ago, when he left these lands, they went on some hard times and apparently all perished from something. It's not known what, but around the time Uptau left, the jungle just began to claim the land.
Never seen its like.
So, you guys gonna...
I volunteer to go forward first and scout.
Mm-hmm.
The building that's kind of on the rise closest to us,
Yeah.
is there anything special about it? Or does it just look kind of like an outlier
That was
of the same kind of structure?
that was that building I was describing before.
Okay, gotcha.
Mm-hmm. So you going in and having a look, Boone?
And the buildings on the map aren't an exact representation of
Correct.
like your descriptions, right? So yeah, so the maps are kind of just a general artistic look, but his description of it's going to be a little bit more accurate.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. So looking inside, much of the interior seems to have collapsed into rubble. Creepers cling to the walls and high grasses sprout between the flagstones amid evidence of long dead campfires. One wall
Lightning bolt the creepers.
Are you?
No.
Fair enough.
I fire at the gazebo.
You have angered the gazebo.
We don't really have a rogue type, so if I'm overstepping someone's party role, let me know.
Keep stepping, my friend. Keep stepping.
No, by all means.
Dex says go for it.
Alright, so on one wall inside that building, you see that it is covered with graffiti. Words have been painted, some others have been etched.
Anything I can make out?
Yes, quite a bit. I'll read it out and then I'll post it into the chat. Fear the fangs of Rasen Sea. Eric, I've gone in search of the 9 shrines. V. The puzzle cubes are the key. Beware the frog monster. Who is Unk? All hail the king of feathers. The snakes are not what they seem. Kubazan equals bravery. Shigambi equals wisdom. Moa equals question mark. And that's all that you're able to decipher from the walls.
Ross and C, that's the head of the auntie, right?
Yep. That you've discerned anyway.
So if I continue around the building, do I see anything else?
Make me a perception check. $22, not bad. Looking around, you can, with a 22, you can definitely see that there are signs of recent movement around here.
I'll whisper that back to the party.
Mm-hmm. And by recent, I mean like in the last few days, not like the last hour or so. So somebody or something has been around here recently.
I am no tracker, so I don't know anything about the footprints, but I'll just keep looking around while everyone is...
So has everybody else come over at this point?
I do.
Yeah.
I'm going to try and stay within 30 feet of Boone wherever he advances, kind of covering his back.
Sure, no worries. Alright, so as you guys...
I'll follow Elon in. I'll stick near Elon.
Yep, no worries.
And I'll, myself and the moose will kind of move just a little bit past this and look down over that ridge.
Okay, so as you guys travel, in regards to taking time, approximately about every 200 feet you move will be about 5 minutes of time. So as you guys have moved around here, pretty much about 10 minutes have passed. And I'll be keeping track of the time for you guys. Alright, so you're looking over the edge.
Real quick before we leave,
Yep.
I'm going to scribble down a copy of all the graffiti.
Yep, no worries. Upon looking down over the edge, you do see various ruined buildings in different states of collapse, overgrown. Some are actually quite intact.
No real movement or anything, just the sounds of nature again.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a clear path down?
There doesn't seem to be an easy path down, but if somebody looked hard enough, they might be able to find a reasonable path.
I'll take a look.
Yep.
I'll go help Olo look as well, if I may.
Mm-hmm. Go for it.
Nat 20.
Yeah,
27.
you find a path. You move some shrubs, and you see almost a perfectly stone-carved staircase going down along the left side. So, excellent find.
Hey guys, I think I found the way down.
Yep.
I'm gonna follow him with chicken on my shoulder.
Chicken on your shoulder. No worries.
I give Olo the thumbs up. So like, you're good at this stuff.
It smelled weird.
Okay, so about this point, when you guys are down the hill, who doesn't have a passive perception of over 12? Anyone?
I have a 15.
Yeah, I figure. I'm pretty confident that nearly all of you have at least a 12.
Yep.
You do notice, almost trailing to your south, you notice, so around here and here, you notice a couple of snakes slithering around.
What kind of snakes? Like little
Pythons?
garden variety, or like
They look like
giant?
they look like. What's it called? 1 second, sorry. Yeah, they look like a pretty large poisonous snake. You would think that it would be around a medium size in regards to token size. When you
Are
see
they
two of them
moving in a
south
way
of you.
that seems normal for snakes, or are they moving in a more sentient fashion?
Roll me an insight check.
$22.
22. Interesting. So, yeah, these, especially you who is quite attuned with nature, these aren't acting normal. They're acting.
I'm gonna look over and kind
shifty.
of double tap Corden on the chest with a claw, and point them over. Like, hey man, snakes are not what they seem. And then do like the super obvious point to your head, and then point to the notes I took down from.
Yeah, right.
Only now do I see them, as Vanguard only has a passive perception of 10.
Ah, right. No worries. At this point, upon you gesturing towards them and whatnot, they seem to quickly dart south into the bushes.
How far away am I from them?
When they started darting away, you probably would have been about, let's say, you would have been about 60 to 70 feet.
Oh, so when they darted away, it looked like they saw us at that moment? Or was it just coincidental?
I would definitely allow Olo's insight to ride there. They responded to what was said and seen.
Guys, I think we're being tracked.
How many
We're kind
did
of out in the middle
Olo
of the
see?
clearing, right?
Olo saw 2.
Am I significantly closer to the bushes?
Yeah, you would have been
Than
about.
Olo?
If you're in the arrangement you guys are in, you would have been about 20 or 30 feet away before they darted away.
Can I use Mage Hand to push the bushes aside?
Yeah. And as you do, they aren't there.
Do we want to try and follow them? That seems like a good way to get ambushed in the jungle.
Yeah,
I don't want to walk further into the city with an enemy at my back.
Yeah, kind of a lose-lose. I'm gonna try and track them at least maybe 10-15 feet into the jungle's edge and see if I can figure out what's going on.
Yeah, sure, no worries. Survival check.
trouble ahead and
Yep.
trouble behind.
You are the survival expert today, as you quite easily discern where they have gone, and it looks like if you follow their path that you should be able to see this. It looks like they've gone in this sort of trajectory. Did you make that out?
Yeah, kind of like they're circling back in between those large structures.
Yes.
I'm going to slink back to the edge of the clearing and try and pass on that information without being super loud or vocal about it.
No worries.
If there's trouble ahead and there's trouble behind, I have the notion we get on over here and cut them off.
How big are those buildings up ahead of us?
The buildings, the small one is about 30 feet wide. They're both about 30 feet-ish, 30 to 50 feet wide, and about 120 long. Realistically, they're quite similar to what they are on the map if you want to ever rule them, but they're reasonably sized, so like 50 by 100.
Okay. It's a little too wide for me to be comfortable with us trying to take it from both sides.
I'm okay with getting it myself.
I'm gonna look to Boone and Elian and see what they think. This is more their territory than ours.
If those snakes were scouts, then we have been spotted, and our presence is known.
So we can either follow them or wait for the rest of them to come out and find us.
What's the way look like right here through here, Danimal?
Like between the buildings, or whereabouts? Sorry.
Like, what do I right click to make the arrows appear for movement?
I think there is a button on the left side which looks like a circle with a ruler in it. So around there. It looks like pretty much what you see on the map is what you get. A little bit of jungle, like trees and shrubbery north of the building.
If he thinks they went through there, I'd like to try to ride over here to try to stop them.
Do you have control of the elk, by the way?
Yeah, I'm riding him.
Cool. I meant, like, do you have control of the token?
Oh, yeah.
Sweet. Alright, so you're riding the elk and trying to do what? Sorry?
I'm going to ride here to try to meet him here at the edge.
Mm-hmm. And is somebody doing something in tandem while he does that?
I'm gonna circle into the other side of the building, trying to follow their path.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to follow Ola.
Yep. Corridon, could you do a perception check for me, please?
Yes.
Yep.
21?
You see a couple of snakes going right over here.
Do you think I could write them down?
You can try.
Yep, I'm gonna kind of edge the elk and spur him into a gallop and try to get at him.
I put an X where I'm going to move up to a corner and then just kind of look around that corner, but keep my body next to that building. If you can see it.
Mm-hmm. All right, and as you get to them, Corridon, before you reach them, you see 3 arrows hit the ground in front of you. Are you going to proceed chasing them down?
That's a negative.
Did any of the rest of us see the arrow fire?
Vanguard may have. Have you guys gone north through here yet?
No, I'm kind of taking it slow. I don't want to get jumped in an alleyway.
Alright, so Vanguard and Corridon would have seen that they came from a kind of northeast position.
I stay in cover and I kind of wait to see what Corridon does and the rest of the group, if they come around or not.
Musharu will be staying with you, Vanguard. What are you doing, Elian? I can't hear you, sorry.
Oh, it's because I hit tab instead of my push to talk button.
No worries.
I'm going to continue to follow Olo.
No worries. Carden.
I'm gonna make my way up, checking both sides as we go.
No worries. Doing a cursory glance into those buildings, you don't really see anything of note, although you can do a more thorough search in a bit if you want. Carden, what are you doing?
As the arrows hit, I'll turn the elk will turn sideways and kind of trot along the edge of those arrows, and I'll peer out into the where they came from and see if I can see maybe who shot.
You would have you would have caught a glimpse of some shine from like metal of some variety here as they get out of as whatever it was gets out of sight.
Okay.
And
then
see the snakes slither away and go north out of sight.
I'll kind of trot back to in front of the area where everybody's coming out.
Mm-hmm.
We've got company. They know we're here for sure. I couldn't catch them.
Look?
What was that, sorry?
Did you get a better look, brother?
I didn't. Just a flash of metal and the snake slithered away down to this. They left their arrows, though. Perhaps Alien knows what they are. Or Musharib.
I'll go over and take a look at them and see if I recognize anything.
And Mushrib will have a look as well. Elian, if you're going to have a look at them, Mushrib will give you advantage on a survival check to check them out. $11.
11 on those. Yep.
Right, so with the 11, you can discern that these are nicely crafted arrows. They're not something from, say, like a tribal goblin or something like that. They seem a bit more well crafted, and that's all that you can discern from that.
So all I can tell is they know what they're doing. I don't know who made them, but that's what I share with the rest of the party.
Mm-hmm.
So we're definitely not dealing with a bunch of people who just slapped pointy things on the end of sticks.
Not lizard men.
Not lizard men.
So either there's archers with pet snakes, or snakes that are archers. Either one, it seems a little unwelcoming.
Did we notice arms on the snakes that were there?
On the snakes that were slithering away?
Yeah.
They looked like normal snakes.
Okay.
Well, I suppose we should probably head in after them.
This is their city.
Aye, and we didn't come here to leave.
I can't argue with that kind of
Wait,
logic.
does Mushrib know who's currently occupying the city, or did he say he didn't know?
I'm pretty sure the general consensus is undead in Yuan-Ti.
I didn't know about the undead, but I know that we'd known the Yanti were here, right?
It's just evil then. They need to be rooted out.
Mushrib did let you know about the blue triangles on the undead's head, and they were those blue triangles were the symbol of Rasnasi, or Rasansi, or however you'd like to pronounce that.
And we've seen those same triangles on all the undead that we faced so far, right?
Majority of them,
Including
yes.
T-Rex? I'm going to suggest that we fall back for a minute and examine both of these buildings before moving past them.
Alright.
Alright, so you want to check out those buildings?
Yeah, I'll make sure we don't have any nasty surprises behind us.
No worries. So checking out the buildings. Who wants to roll me 2d100 rolls?
I'll try it this time.
Is that how many zombies we're getting?
Yes. D100.
Can't hear you, Alien.
They give you 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 20.
That's alright. I'll roll it.
I could do 2 10s, right?
Alright, Boone's done 2d100s. Okay. Looking in the first set of buildings, you find that they are quite intact, but you don't find anything of value. You don't find anything of interest. And the right buildings, the southernmost building is definitely much more collapsed than the northern one, the yellow-topped one. I assume it's kind of thatched or whatever. That one actually seems, this building here, it seems quite intact. It's it's got the doorways and frames seem all good, and the roofing seems to keep the weather out. So yeah, this building right here is quite nice going. But other than that, yeah, you do find nothing else in these buildings.
And there's no sign of the kind of like the passing of those same snake creatures. Any tracks or anything like they might have nested in.
No, you don't see any signs of that.
Turn to Boone. Where to now, brother?
Well, we have to talk to the Yanti at some point. If those snakes are going to lead us back to their masters, we should just follow them.
And what do you know about the Yuan-Ti?
As much as you, unless I've gotten extra information from them.
At this point, you know that they're snake people.
Does Musharib know anything about him? Or Alien?
Musharib knows that they're not trustworthy, they're quite deceptive, and he's never met one, but he's been told not to like them. Kind of racist.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I suppose we should go then.
Well, just because they're reptiles doesn't mean they're bad people.
Mm-hmm.
It usually does.
Hey now.
My best friend's an amphibian.
Different than a reptile.
Trust Vanguard to get technical.
All right. So if I remember correctly, they went this.
They did. That was some time ago since you guys fell back and searched these two building areas.
And looking down in here, this is a raised street along here. Is that correct?
It's almost like a wall, but yes, it is raised.
And what sort of buildings are just to the north of us as we approach where they shot the arrows once more?
They look like very similar to the others. Most of these seem, maybe they were residential, maybe they were like business, but they're all, you know, decrepit and abandoned. You guys wanting to check them out?
Yeah, I'll take a peek around, but I'm not like tossing the places.
Are there also tracks here? I mean, is there clear movement around that would indicate more life form than just snakes?
At this point, you only notice the snake, the You do notice the telltale signs of slithering over here. If you guys are heading that way, and you are you still wanting to try and continue tracking where they went?
I think
Yeah,
we should.
possible.
Yeah, I can't track, so if the party wants to do it, someone will have to do it.
I can.
I'll assist you.
You want survival for that one?
Yes, please. 24, hitting it big with the survival checks. At this point, the main thing that you can determine, other than that they are generally heading north, is the slithering slowly changes into footsteps.
Like it converted over, or a group of footsteps merged with the slithering?
The slithering stops almost at a point, and then there's steps from there.
Oh, steps up. Okay, I thought you were saying there were like footsteps on the ground, and all of a sudden they converted to something else. Okay, gotcha.
So it seems like the slithering stops and footsteps begin.
Like some kind of shapeshifter. Okay. That would explain the arrows. Is the transition point about where Corden was shot at from?
The transition point would probably be about here, if you can see that in blue.
Well, they didn't attack you, Corden. They just warned you off.
Hey,
And again, we are in their home, so I will continue to advise treading with caution.
Should we be trying more openly to contact them, like announcing ourselves, or should we treat this as a hostile presence?
So I'm keeping my bow out either way.
what do you know of these types, Vanguard?
From most of the books, just the typical everything's evil that's not like us. So can't be trust what you read in most of the stories. But nothing about this place specifically, or that they can shape change or things like that. That is news to me.
Dusty scholars who've never stepped foot in the field.
Well, what? I mean, I'm not looking to fight, but I just don't want them to get the jump on us. Oh, fuck. Who am I kidding? I'm here to fight.
Best way to find
Eddie-
a trap is to spring it.
He's got like
Let's
this
revisit.
great
What
big
are our
smile
objectives
on
here?
his face. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to talk over you. What's that?
You're fine. I'm saying let's revisit what exactly our objectives are in the city. We're looking for the soul.
The reason
We
people
don't
can't be
know.
resurrected. Yeah. To find evidence of why people can't be resurrected.
Right now, the notes say that the puzzle cubes are the key, and that there's 9 shrines. So maybe we should be looking out for something more in the temple variety and see what we can go from there, or should we be trying to make contact with the locals and try and get some answers?
What's this building look like over here by the edge of the lava pit?
1 second, sorry. Which building?
I
Sorry?
think Olo has the right of it. We should make our way towards some type of building that seems different than the others, and then if we bump into something that wants to talk to us, we'll talk.
Alright, so this building here doesn't look anything exceptional from this distance.
Well, this building right in front of us has a big dome on top.
That it does.
Well, Let's take a peek. And if not, there's always the dramatically perched building on top of a lava spire.
Yeah, clearly that's where the high priest lives.
Yeah, let's take a look at this domed guy over here.
All right. As you go into the building and have a look around, can somebody roll me a D100? $64.
Oh, Olo!
Too late for that.
I think he technically rolled first.
Well, what's interesting is I was about to ask you guys to roll again. So that was interesting. All right. So, who would be going into this building first? Just out of curiosity.
I just put Boone on top of it, so I guess me.
All right, Boone, could I get you to roll a Constitution saving throw, please?
Oof.
From the 25 poisonous darts in your chest.
All right. You, as you're walking in and looking around, you instantly see this mist start to come out from the ground and from the walls and almost completely engulf the area that you're in. And as you breathe deep, you and you quickly back up, and you don't seem to encounter anything horrible from it. But as you are backing up, you hear Mushroob yell, "Oh, get out of there! That's monkey mist! You don't want to be breathing in that!"
Take a step back. Monkey mist. There's no such thing as monkey mist.
Ah,
I love monkey mist.
Well, go back on in there if you want to try out some monkey mist. But you might walk out with monkey mist fever.
A bunch of monkeys on the wall peeing on you is what there is.
You said monkey mist. That's funny.
Mad monkey mist.
Do I have any idea what he's talking about?
No, you wouldn't.
And is there a monkey in there misting, or is this some kind of plant?
So, having come from a jungle, have I ever heard of anything called monkey mist before?
Not unless you are local in Cholt. Boone, having been here for a few years, probably has heard of it. It is just this unnatural occurrence where somebody who gets afflicted by this mad monkey mist goes mad.
Appropriately named.
How do you know I'm not mad at this point?
Yeah, who's to say?
I did live with Lizardman for 2 years.
And as you are backing out and getting away from said mad monkey mist, you do make out a couple of little tiny creatures, bigger than the chewingas you saw, but much smaller than... They're quite small creatures, and they seem to be made primarily of plant life. And as you make eye contact, they turn around and scatter. And it looked a little something, if you bear with me for 1 second. It looked...
Are they grabbable with mage hand?
No, they definitely evaded you afterwards. And you would know that these things are veggie pygmies. They are quite
love
common
veggie
in the jungle.
pygmies.
Do you guys get the handout?
My party loves veggie pygmies.
Those are awesome.
I don't know what they are, but Olo instantly loves them.
They're quite the terrors in seeking Revener, I've heard.
What is that little mount it's got there?
In that picture, you might see a thorny. They decided to add
Yeah,
both those pictures
worthy.
together.
If I can approach that building without being near the monkey mist, like the wall, I'd like to use a piece of charcoal to write a symbol that shows like danger or stay out. So maybe like the universal symbol of a circle and a X or a slash on the wall, but not close enough that I would have to breathe in any of the monkey mist.
Mm-hmm.
I can try and clear the mist with some wind we want to explore further.
Yeah. Maybe it's best thing that we don't go where the Mad Monkey Mist is.
Can you not
I
tell
don't
that
know.
with
I'm
a
getting the
straight
feeling
face?
that if the monkey mist is there, maybe that is where we have to go.
Oh my god.
Yeah, what else? What all does the building look like besides full of fungus pygmies and mad monkey mist?
Other than that, it is covered in vines and other forms of nature taking over, and various walls seem to be crumbled through, doors completely kaput.
Any religious
Architecturally,
markings like we would think it was a shrine, or any
None.
scripture, or
No intelligible signs anywhere.
maybe it's not a shrine then.
Not unless you came to. Gordon is totally not taking that shit seriously.
Fair enough.
He's just like, Musharraf, you can't honestly call it Mad Monkey Mist and expect somebody to fear it, can ya? Monkeys are harmless little creatures.
I would remind you about the gigantic four-armed gorillas that almost murdered us in the Lich Bitch Tower.
Lich bitch.
Oh! Yeah, forgot about them. Alright, I stand corrected.
Alright, so what do you guys want to do now?
Well, if we have one building marked off, do you want to just keep moving down the road doing the same?
Yeah, let's keep taking.
I'm up
You
for
know what,
that.
Scout?
One building at a time. Clear them all out.
Alright, who wants to roll a D100?
We don't want to go back and forth over the wall, though, right? So do we want to stay to the left of the wall, or do we want to stay to the right of the wall?
Yeah, travel, the wall
Oh, that's
is
a wall.
20
I
feet
thought that was
high.
a road.
I thought it was a road
Yeah,
too.
If you have
Yeah, it's
a look
huge.
there, without Corridon covering up the staircase, jeez.
With my massive moose.
Made it a bit smaller.
Did we look in those?
You have not yet.
I'll take a peek.
Roll a D100, Olo.
24.
Yeah, you find that the roof of these ones seem quite caved in, and the northernmost and westernmost walls have completely collapsed. But other than that, no signs of anything of interest.
I will pass that along. Looks like we have kind of like a mini walled compound up ahead.
I'm
Well, if it's
thinking
walled,
that's
that means
the
they tried to keep people out, so they must have something.
Yeah, let's take this one a little more cautiously. See if we can scout it out.
Stealth it up.
So at this point, it's about 9 a.m. So you guys, who's trying to stealth it up in there?
I'll stealth it up in there.
Not the armored guy on the elk.
So who is wanting to go in there?
I'll go in, and I'll go in with chicken.
Alright, so could I get stealth checks from both of you, please?
Well, I'd like to stealth up to the openings to watch as they go in, but I'm not going in quite yet.
Yeah, no worries. And could I get a stealth check from Chicken, please?
Sure, make the chicken roll stealth.
Yeah, that
Actually, I
sucks. You have to
don't
roll
know.
twice.
Yeah.
That's almost like a
I'm trying to
penalty
figure out
for having
where
a pet.
No, it's actually just more the character sheet doesn't seem to have it.
Just Dex then.
Are you saying your Velociraptor is not proficient in stuff?
Alright, so it's at this point that you guys see a bunch of wild dogs. And... one second. Alright. So inside
Just so you know, Danimal, we're all dog lovers, so
fair enough. So
Last episode of Game of Thrones was tough for me.
All of them.
I know, I can't believe you didn't go hug him. What the hell was that about?
Spoilers.
Jon Snow's a dick. There's no spoiler there.
Well, he is
Jon
a
Snow.
zombie.
Who's Jon Snow? I don't know anyone named Jon Snow.
Who's a good doggies?
All right, so inside the walled compound, you see smoke drifts lazily from within the walled compound. The gate here, lies in splinters, and scorch marks deface the buildings inside. Near the center of the compound is a plaza littered with charred human corpses, and one of the corpses is being torn apart by a pack of wild dogs.
Do they look like newer corpses or like still bloody?
They still look quite bloody. This probably happened either last night or the day before.
And do the corpses, I mean, can we see any obvious like clothing or armor or something that makes us think that they're from the area versus were brought in here by someone?
Alright, well, make a perception check for me. See what you can see from back here, unless you're journeying in, of course. Yeah, with a 13, you'd be able to make out a lot of the corpses have red clothing. Without going closer and investigating, that's the best that you can discern.
And do I think I could get any closer from this point without making it pretty obvious I'm here?
You can try.
Well, I'm kind of going back on my own past experience of scouting and going through the woods and thinking, is it a good idea or not? So, all right, I'll go back and let the party know and ask Mushrib maybe if he knows of groups of people in the area that use red as one of their symbolic colors.
Mushrib will say he's unaware of anyone in the area who would use red as a marker of their whatever they are.
So none of the companies that
then either a party came here or they brought them here.
like that?
What was that? Sorry, Ole?
The various parties that we know were setting out from the port town, none of them were hired by the red mages that we know of?
Not that you know of, but if you do bring up the red mages, it would probably come to mind that you were aware that the lich who resided in the hut of Uptau was linked to
Was a
red
Thayan.
Fae.
Yeah.
She was a red wizard thing.
I had forgotten that. That is correct. And she was trying to study the effect of the soulmonger, or whatever his name is, right?
Correct.
They met their demise.
So you're proposing that she sent a party of red wizards?
Possibly, or acolytes, maybe.
It looks like an away party.
God damn.
Star Trek. Nice.
This is a lich. Why wouldn't a lich just show up and destroy this city?
They're crazy. They don't, their faculties aren't good.
She didn't seem particularly hands-on.
You know,
Can you guys scare the dogs away so we can get a closer look, or what?
We can go back and try throwing rock, or I can shoot them from the wall. How far is the compound kind of around them and they're down inside it?
Yeah, so if it was more accurate, they would probably be, like really tiny, like.
what if they're good dogs?
Well, they could be dead dogs. Dead dogs die. Good dogs die too.
So they seem to be around like a particular. Oh, you shouldn't be able to see that. Boop.
If they're good dogs, they'll go to heaven. It'll be okay, Corden.
Not around here. Nobody's soul's going anywhere.
All right, so
How about that lightning bolt, Elon?
you see, chicken. Chicken seems to be licking his lips.
That's an odd turn of events.
I look over at you and say, "Chicken says they taste like chicken."
So be it then. Let's head on.
Alright, I will go ahead and step around the corner and try and cast a frostbite on the nearest one to see if I can spook the herd.
So what are you casting?
Frostbite, it's a cantrip.
Yep.
They need to make a Constitution save.
On it.
That does not succeed.
They're just dogs getting a meal. Are you guys all up in arms?
All right. So
I'm just trying to spook him.
you kill the closest dog. He dies instantly.
Well, shit. I feel a little bit conflicted about that.
And upon
I'm gonna yell, "Go on now, get!"
could you roll me a intimidation check with advantage, please, Olo?
Something I am terrible at.
I figured. You're too nice and fun-natured to be intimidating. Oh, 17 though.
With my -1, it is still 17.
Yeah, and upon seeing their dead companion and the fearful looks getting from the turtle, they run away.
So channel your inner dragon turtle.
I'm gonna immediately waddle up and try and cast Spare the Dying on the dog.
He looks like he was 100% overkilled.
Never mind then.
Let's just say maybe they had less than 4 hit points, so you killed him and killed him again.
Disintegrated the poor thing.
How could you?
That's what Vanguard's saying.
Froze it.
Oh, how could you?
Sorry, man, I got a little carried away. I will check the various red corpses to see if any are still remotely alive or in the process of dying.
Alright, so looking around the corpses, you do see that there are approximately, give or take, about 30 corpses scattered around the entire compound. Majority of them seem to be humans that they look more like the rough and tough kind of guy. Like you would say these are probably mercenaries or thugs or people for hire. But about 5 of them are a bit more, for lack of a better way of putting it, a bit more squishy. And they are the ones that are wearing the red robes.
Is it possible to tell if it was a group of people that came into here, or was it a group of people trying to defend this place as if they stayed here? Is there anything that would indicate?
Roll me an investigation check, please, Vanguard.
Sure.
And does it look like the rough and tumble guys were fighting with or against the
Can I assist him with that? Sorry, Owen.
He doesn't.
Oh yeah.
He doesn't need the
Nice.
assist, sorry, Alien. Yes, you can tell, judging from the footwork on the ground and everything that has, the way that they're standing and the way that they are displayed, you can tell that this was a campsite, that it seemed like these red wizards and these mercenaries were staying here and were attacked. You see signs of camp being made, various tents or bedding being put down, and upon your searching, you also come across a glaive that has been thrusted into the remains of what seems to be a burnt out pyre, and this is where where you've discerned that the smoke is coming from. And you see charred snake skulls and blackened inhuman vertebrae are lashed to the spear. On a wall nearby, you also notice there is a symbol that has been dubbed in ash, and it looks like a snake curled in a spiral, gripping a circle in its jaws.
Do they seem to have been killed by arrows or melee weapons?
You see... do a medicine check for me, Elian.
And real quick, from what he was able to discern from the course of the battle, did it look like they were assaulted through the gate that were coming in, or were they surrounded? What does it look like? How they fight?
It looks like they were attacked from many different directions. With the arrows, like there are arrows which look like they have been shot from different placements, and with that medicine check, you can tell that some have been killed through bites, some were killed through slashing, some were killed with arrows. Some arrows are broken and still within the corpses, and with a 14, you do discern that some of the arrows, in particular, the area around where the wound was, look dark and almost diseased or poisoned.
Do these arrows look different than the other ones that were shot at us?
They look identical.
Okay. Alright, so I share that back with the rest of the party. So whatever shot these things are the same ones that shot the arrows at us before, and they're using poison in these things.
How many snake skulls in the pile with the glaive?
On just a cursory look, you see about 10 to 12.
I'd like to take a closer look at that glaive.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to as well.
Yep.
Can we search the body's pockets for stuff that was left over? Or does it seem like these corpses have been ransacked?
It seems like the bodies of the Red Wizards have been ransacked, but the bodies of the random mercenaries do not. And if you look upon them, you find approximately, you'd probably find about 8 rations if you guys wanted to grab those, and random weapons ranging from short swords, shields, to a couple of long swords, maybe a warhammer here and there.
If everyone doesn't mind, I'll throw the rations into my backpack with the rest.
I can't say that they picked a bad spot to camp.
So you two are looking at the glaive.
Correct.
Yep.
Yeah. Roll me a religion check.
There's a 13 for me.
Yeah, you definitely get with the combination of the glaive and the way that this pyre has been done, along with the symbol that was marked on the wall, you do feel like this relates to some kind of cult of some kind, but you aren't able to determine what. But with a 13 and a 12, you know that it means something, but you don't know what. But your religion sense is tingling, if you get what I mean by that.
Does it look like this was done before the battle or after?
After.
So it kind of begs the question. We ought to be looking for a place to stay when we get deep enough in here, lest we become just like these fellas.
I think the more pressing concern is burning all of these corpses before they come back. The snake people seem to think it's relatively important. But that might draw more attention than we particularly want.
I say we make quick with looking about in here.
If you hamstring or cut the Achilles tendon on a corpse, will it be able to walk as a zombie?
I just can't golf very well.
Makes that swing, never comes back.
Just gets the skeleton CR template.
Well, there's already a burning pyre there, right? That has smoke going up into the sky.
Mm-hmm. It's not much smoke, but a small amount, yeah. It's
We
definitely-
push the other bodies.
Yeah, you just add them.
Let's check the buildings before we do that, just in case that attracts any attention.
And if the
I'm good with that.
Yanti made the effort to burn their own dead on a pyre, and then we throw the bodies of a bunch of their enemies onto the pile of their heroes, is that going to be offensive?
Might be worth making a new fire.
Would you like to make a religion check, Boone?
No, I would not.
You think it'd be fine. You don't think that there's any religious connection whatsoever. It's just
You don't get a religious tingle if you know what he means.
No, you don't.
I don't even know we're touching these humans. Why bother?
So you guys checking the buildings?
Real quick, is there anything
Sure.
particularly interesting about the glaive? Like, does it look ornate or ceremonial in any way, or is it like just the weapon of one of the fallen warriors placed kind of as a
It looks
like a tombstone?
it looks almost like it would have been quite nice and ornamental. Not necessarily anything that would have been more powerful or magical, but definitely much more maybe ceremonial, or at least it was a really nice looking glaive and probably would have been quite expensive, but it is quite destroyed at this point.
So something more kind of recognizable that someone from their infection would recognize who was burned here by
Plausibly.
it.
If we have 10 minutes, I can do a ritual to locate any magic items that might be around. Or we can just search buildings.
You could do the ritual.
Someone needs to look over him if he's going to do that.
I'll keep an eye on him because my investigation check is shit.
So you guys wanted to check out the buildings around? Well, Vanguard slowly casts Detect Magic.
Sounds good.
Alright, so I will have Elian, Boone, and Corridon, each of you make a D100 roll. So /R space D100. Alright, Corridon, in your building on the southwest, you find that it looks like there was a little bit of fighting in here with scratch marks and a bit of blood, but no corpses. Boone, on the northeast, again, very similar. You do not find anything of note. Elian, you find about 5 corpses in your area. One that has been completely beheaded, another one which looks like it has bite marks all down it. And as you are looking through and trying to figure out what's there, you put your hand on something that's warm, not a cold dead body. And as you put your hand on that arm, trying to move him around, you hear, "Oh, please don't hurt me!" As you find a man.
And am I searching off by myself right now, or are there other people near me?
It seemed like from the way people were describing that you're kind of checking it out yourself, but they're not too
Okay.
far away. They're all within earshot, most likely.
All right. Well, I'm going to start by putting my hand over his mouth and holding my other finger up to my own to tell him to be quiet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll say that in common, because I'm assuming he's talking to me in common.
He was, yes.
All right, just to try to get him to calm down.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. Are they gone?
Who? Is who gone?
The Yuan-Ti, the snake people.
So, what were you guys doing out here?
We were... let me start from the beginning. I'm Orvex. You are...
I'm somebody who just found you, and right now I'm the one who's asking the questions.
And looking at him, he looks like he's dying. Like he's got cuts over him. It looks like he may have been poisoned at some point. And as he's speaking to you, you can tell that his voice is like very dry. And he says, "Oh, okay. I'm Orvex, and I was the, I guess I was a scribe and a translator.
I'm gonna send Chicken to go get somebody else from the party and pull some water out and give him a little bit right now.
Oh, and you hand him the water. He's like, "Oh, thanks," and he drinks the water very, very heartily. And during that time, he puts it down, takes a few deep breaths, and he goes, "You wouldn't have something to eat on you, would you?"
Yeah, I'll give him a couple scraps of food.
Yeah, and he slowly devours the ration, and he's like, okay. Well, I was with the Red Wizards. I was their scribe and their translator, and you see, they were trying to search for this thing deep in the jungle. This. They wouldn't tell me much, but it was this thing that was deep in Omu, and you see, I'm quite knowledgeable about old Omuan. I've studied the Omuans for quite some time, and I jumped at the opportunity to come here, but this place is cursed.
How long have you known when Chicken arrives?
What was that, sorry?
Could you let me know when Chicken arrives?
Chicken would have arrived at this point, and he would have, he'd be doing the whole...
The chicken dance?
So yeah, you guys can wander over it at any point you want. At this point, Vanguard, you have your Detect Magic up, and looking around and walking through the various areas, peeking into buildings, nothing seems to catch your eye.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
Anybody who wants to follow... Ooh, echo. Anyone who wants to follow Chicken can do so. You'll find Vanguard talking to a old man who's looks like he's in his... I say old man. He kind of looks just a bit hardened. Looks like he's in his late 40s, early 50s. So not super old, but, he looks weathered.
So what part of the conversation do I walk in on?
If you walk in straight away when Chicken comes back, you walk in on him saying how the Red Wizards commissioned him to be their scribe and their translator, as the people who used to live in Omu do not speak Common or a dialect that is commonly spoken or written nowadays.
And I noticed that he's dying.
Yes, you notice that he is not looking good.
I'm going to lay on hands. For 10 hit points.
10 hit points. Yeah, once you do so, he seems a lot better. He, still, you see his wounds close, and he still seems a bit hurt, but he seems a lot better. So mark off that 10. And he looks at you and he's like, oh, thank you very much. And he's happy to answer any questions you guys have.
So these UNT, what are they?
There were lots of them, lots of different kinds. There was ones that had snake tails and like a human torso, and there were ones that had snake heads. There were even ones that had like weird scaly arms. They were terrifying, and they fought viciously, and we were no match for them. They completely destroyed our entire encampment in one night.
So, how did you manage to live?
I hid. Once I had some people protecting me, and they died, and I pulled their corpses over the top of me. It's not brave, it's not glamorous, but I'm alive.
What did you do to provoke them?
We did nothing as far as I'm aware.
What were you doing in the city? What were you guys been up to? You'd obviously had time to set up for a while.
Well, we were in search of the opening to the Tomb of the Nine Gods, and also looking for the cubes that are needed to access the tomb.
Tell me more about that.
What was that? Sorry, Olo, couldn't hear you.
Same thing.
Yeah, I figured as much. He says, well, you see, there's supposedly stretched out around the city are the nine temples to the nine trickster gods. And if what I've been given and what I've read and studied is correct, in each of these temples there should be some kind of puzzle cube that is the key to accessing the Tomb of the Nine Gods. And I'm not sure what purpose the Red Wizards were wanting, but whatever they want is in there. And, yeah. He also says that not all of the people who were killed here, some were taken away, some were captured.
How many? How big was your expedition?
Well, the entire expedition, there was over 100 of us into this city. We broke into 3 separate groups. I was with the group tackling the areas to the west. There were some more going to the north and some more going to the east.
And none came to your aid when you were assaulted?
I would assume that they were unaware of our attack.
With a bunch of wizards making things catch on fire and explode?
Well, I'm not sure what you know about the Wizards of Thay, but they don't really seem to care too much about each other, vying for power and all that.
Humans.
And at this point, Corden reaches into up to his neck where his pin from the Emerald Enclave is and murmurs a couple words of power.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to cast Zone of Truth.
Mm-hmm.
As he speaks the final words, a hush kind of settles over the area, and now speak carefully. Why would you work for such evil people?
Well, I know that they're evil and they're not the best kinds of people around, but not many people are that great. When you spend your time focusing on, translating and scribing, and most of the time, people who are wanting to enter these old, destroyed areas aren't usually entering for the best of reasons. You get what you can, you rely on their need for you, and you get paid at the end. I'm not saying that I'm any messiah of goodness, but I do what I can to get by, and I, like I said, would jump at the opportunity to be able to study Odomu and more. And as I'm sure if you guys traveled here, it's not a safe place. And here I thought that being surrounded by tens of warriors, seasoned wizards, would protect me, but as you can see, not so much.
So, now that you're here with us, and we ain't no bitch wizards, will you betray us? Are you in league with the people that are
Honestly,
here?
at this point, I would consider my contract with the Red Wizards null and void. If you would have me, I would happily join your crew, if for anything else, the Sanctuary, but also for the ability to continue studying and exploring this wonderful but evil and corrupt city.
As he says that, Oh, go ahead, Olo. Sorry.
Speaking of exploring this wonderful and corrupt city, do you happen to have a map with points of interest notated from things you found?
If you guys have come straight here from the entrance, you have seen as much as I have.
Well, that's disappointing.
Well, I'll have you know that we aren't as the Wizards of Thay, and we're not here for our personal gain. We're here to find out what's the root of this evil and take care of it.
I kind of nudge Corden and ask him to, kind of in a low voice, ask him if he knows anything about the Lich.
Who was the one directing all the wizards?
He does know the name, and when I find it, I will tell you. But it is not the person. It's not the chick from the Heart of Uptau.
Valindra.
Yeah, it's not her.
She was a former Red Wizard of Thay, right?
Valindra.
Yeah.
You do know that there was lots of signs in her area, in her what's it called, in the Heart of Uptau that had that seemed like she was at the very least working with the Red Wizards, if not currently a part of them.
Let me update my notes then.
And she was claiming to be a Red Wizard, right? Before we kind of realized that she was other.
I can't remember exactly if she was claiming that she was one, but you definitely discerned that she was with them. Yeah, he says that the person that was in charge was Zagmira. It was a female who seemed to have she seemed just like all the other red wizards, but she seemed, half of her face seemed really old, and the other half seemed like that of a 17-year-old woman. He got the heebie-jeebies from her.
I would
Seems
too.
the lost city of Omu attracts all kinds.
Corden's going to look over his shoulder at his companions. So what is it? He speaks the truth. Will we have him?
At this
throw him
point,
to
it
the
won't
jungle.
hurt. We'll just keep a good eye on him.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt to have another set of eyes. Hey, can you tell me what that other building is just over the wall there with the swimming pool?
You asking me or you're asking Orvex?
I'm asking Orvex since I assume he's
Well, technically
knows
speaking,
more about this.
technically speaking, there's a wall there, so you wouldn't be able to see it from where you are. But
Oh,
he
how,
hasn't.
how tall? How tall is that wall?
It's about 10, 15 feet.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was thinking it was like a hedge thing. My
No.
apologies.
That's all good, man. But yeah, you would have been able to see it as you were coming into Omu from the beginning, because you guys did travel along the cliff face trying to find entry. But yeah, he reiterates that he hasn't. Pretty much, he describes that he's gone the exact same path that you guys have gone.
Did they search every building in this little compound?
Well, it seemed like they had set up camp there, so yeah.
How long were you guys here before you were attacked?
He says that we came in 3 days ago and we were attacked in the night of the first day. I've been stuck here. He describes that the Yuan Ti were, after the fight, they had collected their dead and put them on that pyre and almost did some kind of a ritual and placed the marking on the wall, but that's all that he was able to discern without drawing any attention to him. And he had seen a couple of times either weird, grotesque creatures that he can't make out, or other Yuan Ti go by, and he just had to play dead.
And they only burned their dead?
Yes.
So obviously this place, while fortified, is not that secure. Maybe we move to another location after we burn the dead, someplace with fewer entrances.
So whereabouts is everybody at this point?
I'm right next to this cat.
So you guys are kind of who isn't around this building here with Orvex?
I assume the moose.
So pretty much everybody.
Yeah, I would be listening to the conversation. So
that's what
I would be
figured.
open there.
That's what I figured. No worries. Could I get a perception check from everybody, please?
Do you want one from Bullwinkle?
Yeah, sure.
The last one was chicken.
Yep.
I don't have any elk stats at the moment. I'll come up with it later. I'll go with my 19 though.
So the elk didn't appear. Hang on. Let me just do this real quick. I didn't put it in your journal. I gave you access, but no journal entry. There you go. That should appear. Alright, so what were the rolls? We had 10 for Elian, 19 for Corridon, 9 for Olo, 15, 13, 22, and 5. Okay, so Elian and Olo and the elk moose, you are all surprised, and I'm going to move you guys over to this map real quick. Now, this isn't going to be an exact representation of where you guys currently are, as I was able to pull this off the internet from a Reddit page, and after the break I'll double check who the owner of this was, but I messaged him and he kindly allowed me to use this map. It is rather nifty, and you guys might become accustomed to it as we have fights in Omu, but it's at this point that you guys are attacked by a few Yuan Ti. Now, does everybody see where they are? Actually, I need to move Orvex across. Feel free to put you guys... So, you guys would have been having the conversation about around here. So, feel free to put yourselves wherever you wish. And Orvex would have been about there.
So are we inside a building or just
You guys are kind of just outside the building.
okay.
And at this point I'd like everybody to select their tokens and roll initiative, please, as I get the initiative tracker open. Hopefully before anyone rolled. Yes, I did it. Yeah.
The guys that are on the walls, are they like up perched on walls, or are they like on like the roofs of buildings?
Alright, so these two here on the left side are about 10 feet high, and these two here on the north are about 15 feet high. If that helps.
It does. And then the two in the middle are on the ground.
Yes. Alright, so everybody except Olo, Elian, and the moose can act this turn as the Malisons get to attack. Now you see these two here. they have snakes for arms. As one will rush Musharib and one will rush Olo. And you see these...
Are they armored at all?
They don't look like they are armored, no. And you see these two up here have snakes for heads, and these two to the left have snake tails. Now, I only have a handout for the snake head ones, but I'll show that to you guys.
Give it some serious Mortal Kombat vibes, and I am down with it.
Mortal Kombat! Alright, so the snake for arms guys will attack Musharib and Olo. And they're going to do 2 bite attacks on each. So 2 bites on Olo. 10 misses, but I believe a 24 hits.
Yeah, definitely.
Don't take the crit damage, so you only take the 7 piercing and the 7 poison. So not the 3 and 5.
Roger that.
And Musharib will also take... actually, I need a roll for Musharib. My apologies. I haven't rolled initiative or his perception. Oh, he crit. Okay, he got to go before them. So, bear with me for 1 second. Sorry, guys. He is going to... They're going to move back here. And he's going to charge at this one, cast, what's it called? Hunter's Mark on it, and try to attack it with his Skull Bash. Maul.
Holy Toledo, dude!
And he crit with it.
Finally!
And slash 2d6 for the Hunter's Mark. Damn, alright.
He's helping!
He's helping. Alright, so he did a total of 18 plus 8. 26 damage on this guy.
Nicely done.
At which point, it was then their turn, and then that guy moved to you, Olo, and did the damage. And then 2 attacks against Musharib. Oop, wrong one. Both hit as he takes a bit of damage. Okay, so he takes 13 and 11.
No saves on the poison. That's crazy.
All right.
Sorry, I had a game.
That's all good. So they were the 2 that had snakes for arms, and so they just went. All right, and the 2 snake head ones are going to pull out their longbows, and they're going to do. There's going to be 2 attacks on Corridon, and 2 attacks on Vanguard. Now, Vanguard, you'll get a +2 to your AC for this attack.
Now, that small wall that Cordon's up against, is that on the map, or is that just visual?
Yeah, sure, that's on the map, and that's like 5 feet high, but I assume that he's mounted on his elk. Is that correct or no? Would you know?
Yeah. He pretty much rides that thing whenever he can.
Fair enough. Alright, so this will be 2 longbow attacks against you, Corridon. Oh, yeah, he misses very poorly, and I'm only going to allow him to have 1 attack next turn. So I'm going to mark that on him. And then the other one is going to attack you, Vanguard. And I believe neither of those hit as well, do they?
No, with the +2, they would have had to roll a 17 to hit me.
No worries at all. So they both miss. And then the snake tail ones will also do 2 longbow attacks. 2 will be against Boone and 2 will be against Elian. So first against Boone. Damn, I'm rolling a lot of 1s here. And 2 against Elian. Does a 17 hit Elian?
It does.
Alright, so you take 3 damage from that attack.
Got it.
Alright, and that is their turn. It is now Olo.
I'm surprised I
You
don't
are
get to get this round.
surprised. And so you are no longer surprised. Boone, you're up. Actually, who has the higher dexterity out of Boone, Corridon, and Elian?
I do not.
Mine's an 18.
You do.
Alright, so let's just put you. And out of Corridon and Boone, who has higher?
I've got a
I'm
12.
a 14.
Alright. So we'll put Boone at 12. Cool, cool, cool. Elian, you're up. What are you doing?
I'm going to try to slide that picture of the Yuan-Ti out of my way.
Sorry.
And oh, you're good. I'm going to take a shot with my bow at the 2 closest to us.
Okay. So 1 on each?
Yes.
Wait, do you mean the one that's attacking Olo over here, or the 2 that are on the left here?
No, the 2 that are on the wall right over there.
Yep. Alright. Yep. So the 12 hits. And the 25 hits. So 10 for the first guy. And 8 for the second guy. Whoops.
Now, I do have a question. So I've got a plus on my... Oh, it's adding the +4 for the damage already, right?
Yeah, it says that you rolled a 6 plus 4 and a 4 plus 4.
Okay, perfect. I only see the one number of the 10, so that's why I was curious.
Oh, if you hover your mouse over it.
Gotcha. Thanks.
Yep. Is that everything for your turn?
Chicken and I are going to back off a little bit further to here.
Mm-hmm. Corridon, you're up.
So the elk is surprised. So he's not going anywhere. So I realize this quickly and launch myself from the back of the elk to go defend my pal. Before I jump, I'd like to use my bonus action to cast Shield of Faith.
On who?
Myself, and since I was on the elk, it also gets Shield of Faith as well.
Oh, lovely.
So let me put that in here.
No worries. And where you
jump? Down here to help out Olo and kind of get in between our newfound guide. So, shield in hand, I'm going to try to slide it in between Olo and this dude and give him a couple stabs to the face.
Go for it. The second one hits. Now, the point end of the stick goes towards the eye. Now, the eye's on his head or the eye's on his hands?
Ooh, the one on his hands, for sure.
Alright, he takes 5 piercing damage.
And that is my turn. And I'm going to fix my text.
No worries. Boone, you're up.
Is there any place to take cover?
I will allow the map as it is, so you could kind of jump over here and get cover from this wall. It's anywhere from 2 to 5 feet high, depending on where it is.
All right, I'm going to move to there. I'm going to cast Bane on the 2 archers.
On which
The
one, sorry?
2 archers to the left.
Yep. Alright.
And then how were the ones up top armed?
All the ones up top seem to be armed with bows, while the two that are on the ground are armed with snake arms.
Okay. I'll cast it on 3 of the 4 archers.
Okay. Is that a charisma save?
I don't believe there's a save against Bane.
Oh, it isn't?
Yeah, they
Okay,
up to
it
3
is fine.
creatures. Yep.
Alright, so 1 up the top and 2 on the left. Is that what you said?
Yes.
Alright. So the one up the top first, and then the left one, and then the lower left one. You find that all 3 save.
Alright. I'll duck behind the wall. Use my bonus action then as a bardic inspiration for Card.
Corridon, you have a bardic die. I believe it's a D8?
It is.
Excellent. Vanguard.
I charge forward, and as I'm running, I cup my hands as if I'm going to shout loudly, but you see lightning start at my shoulders and begin to crackle up to my hands, and then I cast as a bonus action Dragon's Breath on myself at a higher level.
Ooh.
3rd level slot. And I'll submit that. So I'll hit the ones on the wall with the 15-foot cone of lightning damage.
Top
So it should be 4d6 depending on their dexterity saving throw.
Yep, they will make their dexterity saving throws now. So top first and the bottom one. The top one fails, the bottom one passes. So the top one takes 14, but the bottom one seems to get out of the way a little bit and only takes 7. Anything else?
That was my bonus action, and movement, and I am done.
Alright, so Mushrib's gonna yell out, "We need to take them down! Don't listen to them! They can get in your heads!" And he's going to do another skull bash attack against the guy he's got hunters marked. And he hits. Rolls horribly. And yep, does a total of 7 damage on that guy, but he's looking pretty hurt, particularly from that crit before. And it is now the Yuan T's turn, and this Yuan T Lucian, the one that I'm tagging right here, he looks towards you and says, "Wouldn't it be safer for you to step this one out? Go back to the entrance and we'll talk with you later." And could I get you to roll a wisdom saving throw, please, as he casts suggestion on you?
I will use a reaction and cast Counterspell.
You counter that spell. And upon you doing that, the guy just north will jump on down. And he says, "You should have gone away." And he will make a constrict attack against you with his tail, critically missing, giving him disadvantage on the bite attack he's going to try and do. And he misses you with that too. And this guy is going to move up over here upon failing his attempted suggestion. This one is going to make 2 more... this one over here near Musharib is going to make 2 more bite attacks against Musharib. 1 hitting, 1 missing, so he takes the 16 damage. And he is not looking good. Oh, bear in mind, everybody should make sure that they have been taking into account the 11 temporary hit points.
Did you say Mushroob was not looking good?
Mushrib is not looking good. He looks quite lethargic, and he looks quite injured.
It seems to be par for the course for most of our fights.
Yeah. And
Hey, he hit somebody this time. Okay, he's helping.
upon you coming in, he's going to the one near Olo and Corridon is going to make a bite attack against Corridon first, missing, and a bite attack against Olo, also missing.
As he takes his attack, I'm going to try to jab my spear underneath his chin for trying that.
Go for it.
He's a sentinel.
You
That's
missed.
a negative Ghost Rider.
And upon you doing that, you see this leftmost UNT on top of the building looks towards you, Corridon, and gets in your ear and says, "Quit trying to defend your allies. Step back, and you might yet survive. Meet us at the entrance of this area." And I'll have you also make a wisdom saving throw as he casts suggestion upon you.
I don't think so.
You resist as well, and the look of anger upon his face is quite palpable. And upon you passing that one, the other one will make two quick bow attacks against you. One misses, but one crits for quite a bit of damage. 15 piercing and 14 poison.
Wow!
And good luck with that
Damn, boy.
concentration check to keep up Shield of Faith.
So I'll go ahead and try to roll that now.
Mm-hmm. I believe it's DC 14. Yeah, you pass. Nice work. And with that, it is Olo's turn. What are you doing, Turtle Boy?
Alright, so I'm going to line up on the guy who just filled my only friend full of arrows
Mm-hmm.
and yell loudly in Draconic, "Now that's enough of that." And I'm going to reach down my claw and kind of rip a section of vine out of the ground and cast Thorn Whip up and
Nice.
drag him off that wall so we can beat the crap out of him like a good archer deserves.
Go for it.
That is a 20 to hit.
You hit him, and you pull him to there, and he takes an additional... oh, nice. Roll another d6 for
That's
falling damage as well. Yeah, every little bit counts.
Yeah, so 13 points and yank him on down here.
Yep. Anything else?
Yeah, I'm going to use my reaction to also blast him with a wave of my Halo of Spore.
Go for it.
Which is additional 4 points of necrotic.
Alright. You staying where you are?
Yep, I'm going to stay firmly planted and keeping my shield in between Corridon and as many of these guys as possible.
Elian, you and Chicken are up.
Alright, I'm going to take a shot at the one closest to Vanguard.
Go for it. Ooh, that's a miss.
Yes, it is. I'll take my second shot at him again, too.
Take that second one at disadvantage. Oh.
Bummer.
You still hit, though.
Damn!
So, well, you only missed out on one extra point of damage. So he takes the 7 damage. Anything else?
No, we're staying back out of this a little bit.
Chicken's hungry, though. Corridon, you're up.
All right, the elk is no longer surprised.
No, he's not.
Um. So 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, four. He's gonna head over here and try to help Vanguard as I just think of it to him, and he's gonna try to knock this dude down.
Go for it. He hits.
Hang on a second. So 1d6. Six points of damage.
6 points of damage. Marked.
And he needs to take a DC strength save of 13 or be knocked prone.
He's good.
So he stays up. And then Corridin is going to step up into these guys
Mm-hmm.
and try to stab them in the eye in their face this time.
Go for it. The 20 hits, the 11 does not. Oh, you're on 4 attacks.
Oh, my apology.
Doesn't matter, the second 2 both missed, so it's just the 2 initial spear attacks.
Alright, so I'll roll the spear attack damage, my bad.
Mm-hmm.
So 9 damage.
Yep. 9 damage marked. That it?
Yep, that's it. Series of jabs.
Boone, you're up.
Okay, I'm going to stand up out of cover.
Yep.
And I know I'm going to catch... you know what? I'm not going to catch Moose Serpent. I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pat and catch those 3 directly north of Ola.
Yep. I will roll top to bottom, left to right. I believe it's wisdom, right? Wisdom saving throw. Top to bottom, left to right. Pass, fail, pass. So only this guy who I'm going to mark in, let's say, a green color. He seems completely enamored by the colorful display that was presented towards him.
And then I'm going to duck back behind the wall.
Mm-hmm. Vanguard.
Yeah, just want to check. If I move here... Oh, well, I don't want to do that. I want to move my guy. And I'm going to the left with the cone. Am I going to get the guy on top of the wall or not? Is he on top of the wall? There's snake guy?
That guy there?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say that he has total cover from you. You wouldn't be able to see him from your angle.
All right. Then what I'm going to do is... Then he can't see me then, right?
Correct.
All right. I'll just move here then and just hit this one guy with the action Dragon's Breath.
Yep.
4d6.
He fails his save.
And as this powers up, at the very end of it, it gets brighter. It's a blue lightning, but at the end of it, it goes searing white, and I'm going to use a power surge to add an additional 3 points to that.
Nice. All right, and with that, we'll take a quick 5-minute break as I need to go to the bathroom, and we blew past our break point, but we had a little technical difficulty at the beginning. Sorry. So we'll be back in like 5 minutes. You all good with that, guys?
Yep,
Sounds good.
sounds good.
Excellent. We'll be back soon.